Hello, BookTube. It's been a while. 2 weeks, I think. I think uh, my Friday reads of 2 weeks ago was my last video. I was starting out with I'm calling it a cold. Uh, that just sort of sent me for a whirl. With the long COVID, I think I'm calling it a cold rather than it's affected my breathing and sleeping. Resting, I should say. And I haven't been able to read anything. I think I read 50 pages after I made that video, and I haven't been able to read anything else. Well, I can read. Like I read a paragraph, and I just don't have a clue what I've read. So, but last couple days I've been feeling a little better. Because I've been resting a little more last couple nights. I've switched back to night mode rather than sort of day mode, sleeping night mode, resting night mode than I was for a while. So this is a video. I won't call it quite Friday reads because I haven't really read anything. I've read 50 pages of Middlemarch, which should have read a week ago, and it should have been finished. But I'm sort of here to give an update of what's been happening and to go forward. I'm going to put a few things on hiatus at the moment in order to catch up on, first and foremost, the uh, Future History Project, Isaac Asimov's Future History Project, is my priority this year. And I'm 2 weeks behind, and we're coming into the next week that I'm starting behind. There are 4 books. There's 4 more, the final 4 of Robots in Time that I have to read. And I'm hoping that I catch up on those this coming week. So that's going to be or maybe 2 weeks. It depends on when I can get to reading. So I'm hoping over the weekend I'll like another night or two of good rest. The old gray cells will start clicking together. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Uh, and yeah, we'll get that done. And then I'm going to concentrate on that and then finish Middlemarch. I have, because of this, I don't know how long this is going to last because in the past year and a bit after I get sort of knocked down again, it takes me a month or two to get back into swing of things. So I've stepped out of Sag Along. If I can continue on sort of middle month wise or whenever, we'll chime in with things if I can. But as I say, my priority and right at the beginning of the year was going to be, excuse me, my priority is the Future History Project. So, and I'm determined to continue with it and finish it by Christmas. We should be, if things go well, we should be done a week or two before Christmas. Long project. Anyway, and the other thing is today is my birthday. So I'm here with a bit of a birthday book haul. I've already showed a couple things. And the last one from that group, I showed a biography of Petrie, Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie, Egyptologist, and Leonard Woolley, in Egypt, not an Egyptologist, but he excavated Ur in Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq, and a 2-volume set of letters of Gertrude Bell. And this was the next one that was part of that, is a biography of Mary Kingsley. She was late Victorian, late 1890s. She traveled to West Africa, and this has a map on the end papers. This is a shortish biography. It's just over 300 pages. She wrote basically 2 books, Travels in West Africa and brain is failing me. Both in West Africa. And this was written by Catherine Frank. It's called The Voyage Out. The Life of Mary Kingsley, Hamish Hamilton of London, 1986. So this is sort of going to start like these 3. Well, I've got a few others, but it's going to start a small collection, a new collection that I'm going to have. Is a collection of a few explorers, but mainly archaeologists that I respect and have read in the past. Hence the Petrie and Woolley, and there'll be other ones like a biography of Arthur Evans, Calvert, Schliemann, um, Carter, Howard Carter, if there is a biography, and a few things like that. It won't be like, it might take a shelf or maybe 2 at the most. It's not going to be a huge thing. It's going to be very limited biography of those people, basically, of certain archaeologists, and some of their works, like the Mary Kingsley. I've got 2 nice volumes of her travels. So, and Richard Burton is included in that. Sir Richard Burton. T.E. Lawrence is featured in that. Yeah, and it'll be something that I'm going to slowly go through, and hopefully, because it's going to be a slow burn for me over many years, and hopefully these are on my to be read list. Hopefully this year, these 3. And then once I can dig out my T. Lawrence and Richard Burton biographies, I'll be reading those. So the idea is, before I really get too many, I will be reading them first. And then as I get them, I'll consume them. And that's the way. So other things that I got was a nice set of Arsène Lupin 10 novels. This is called the Complete Collection box set. It's not, because he wrote 25 novels. This is 10. It's not quite the first 10. I think the 8th novel was written without Lupin in the first place, but then later Lupin was put in, so that is missing out of this collection. But I was really surprised that they were in English, so I'm very happy with this. This was through a Remainder place. A friend of mine, she asked me what I wanted, and I sort of said, well, there was this I was looking at. No question. It's extremely cheap. We're talking less than two pounds per book. And I'm very happy with that. And I found out that Netflix is running a series that was made in France about Arsène Lupin. I don't know anything else about it. I wasn't aware of it. But that might explain why these books are available now. So I'll be reading through those eventually this year. Also with that is a very nice hardcover of H.E. Bates. They call this the Pop Larkin Chronicles. It's all 5 books. Nice condition. It was probably perfect condition, but the person mailed it wrapped up in paper. So it's got damaged. Why people think that just wrapping in paper or putting in a plastic bag is sufficient to mail something. Like, I mean, no bubble wrap, nothing. So it's damaged, but it was cheap. It was very cheap. It was a gift too. So, but it still bugs me. But it has all 5 books: The Darling Buds of May, A Breath of French Air, A Breath of French Air. If I can get a breath, I'll be happy. Doesn't have to be French. When the green words, when the green woods laugh, oh, to be in England, a little of what you fancy. It's all 5. And it's short. Like, it's 500 and some pages. They were novelettes, basically. 100 and some pages each. So I'm very pleased to get this. I thought I had them all in paperback, but it turns out I only had the first volume. And I've read them before, but I really enjoy them. This is it's a cheap publisher, Guild Publishing. It's made to be a cheap one, and so they give me a date, 1991. There's many editions of it. It's sort of like a bargain book that it would have been, but it's nice. The cover's not too bad, and it's hardcover. I'm happy for it. The originals aren't that expensive either. You could get nice originals for like 10 or 15 pounds. Really nice ones with jackets, and they are pretty. But this will do me. Another very good friend bought me this. This is Clifford D Simac. Yes. This is one of his nonfiction books, one of 4 that he did. And this is Prehistoric Man, the story of man's rise to civilization. It's a bit sunned on the spine, but there's not many copies out there with a dust jacket. So I'm very pleased to get this. This is St. Martin's Press, 1971. And it's one of 4. I've got 2 others that he wrote. These weren't present. These are ones I've had for a while. Trilobite, Dinosaur, and Man. Wonder and Glory, Story of Our Universe. And there's the man himself. And then one he edited, one of 2 that he's edited. From Atoms to Infinity. It's a collection of articles, which includes an article by him, an introduction, a preface, and by Willie Ley, Isaac Asimov, the big names in here. The other one that he edited is called The March of Science, I think it is. And I still need to get that one. And there's one on the solar system. I think it's just called Our Solar System, possibly. Yeah, I don't see it there. But it's called Our Solar System. So that's the one that I really need. It's the last one that he wrote whole himself. And the other one's edited, again, with essays by Asimov, Willie Ley. I think there were essays that on both these that were in the Minneapolis Tribune, where he was editor and science editor, and he wrote articles. And something wonderful came the other day by one of you. I don't know who it is. It was from my wish list. That it's in all. It's listed below in the description. And this is the hardcover, the new hardcover, Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. It's the illustrated edition, but illustrated by Tolkien himself. It's red stained, and it's got writing. Not sure which way it's supposed to go. And red stained. It's got 2 maps, loosely laid in. 2 maps, one in the front and one in the back. This is not the special limited edition, but it's really nice. And this is the second map of Mordor, I guess. Yeah. Oop. Let's get this opened. Sorry, I can't. My coordination is shot here as well. I'm going to have to pick that up later. I don't know who sent this. It just says, a gift from one of your YouTube fans. Happy birthday. Hope you're feeling better soon. From one of your YouTube fans. So, whoever that is, I want to thank you very much. And it is something that I've not read before. I've not read Tolkien. It's not something I'm going to jump into immediately. I will need to read. Don't need to, but I do want to read The Hobbit first. So I'll need to pick up a copy of The Hobbit. But this is beautiful. I put a dust jacket protector on it. This is cut out for the Eye of Sauron, and there's paper backing, but I've sort of made a circle through that, so it's now protected. It won't get damaged. Very pleased with it. Something else that I got today it wasn't a birthday present, I guess you could say, for myself, but something that I ordered sometime last summer, I think it was, and it came today. I had prepaid for it because it was so cheap. It's called The Origins of Science Fiction, and it's by Michael Newton. It's one of the Oxford World Classics hardcovers with inlay, and on the back. This was described, and the reason why I ordered it, I never looked at it again. I'd almost forgotten about it. It was described as a collection of essays about science fiction, a chronological list of essays about science fiction. And I thought, yes, I want this. And it was just over £7. I paid for it. It's normally like 16 or 17 pounds. It was very cheap. I prepaid for it. I never looked at it again. It's not what I thought it was. And this is The Origin of Science Fiction, from Mary Shelley to W.E.B. Du Bois. And it's a collection of stories, of short stories, not essays. It's got a nice long introduction that's basically 40 pages long, which is nice, but it's not what I wanted. It's not what I expected. I think all but maybe a couple of these stories I have otherwise and read them all. Oh well, it's nice. I sort of like these to a certain extent, but yeah. So there it is. That is what's that came actually today. So I knew it was coming, but I still until I looked at it, I thought it was something else, and the description is different now. So I don't know. Either I completely messed up because I would have ordered it at a time that I wasn't feeling that well also last year, so I could have screwed up myself. But I had always remembered it because I had mentioned it in, I think, something in a tag at the beginning of the year, said I'm looking forward to this. It kept getting pushed back by month after month, and I mentioned it as essays. That's what I thought it was. Oh well. So yeah, so my plan now is to get back into reading as soon as I can. I'll probably there's several tags out there. Just to sort of ease my way back in, I'll do some tags over the next week. I'll try to do some reading, and as soon as I get done the third volume of the Robots in Time, then I'll do a video on that, and then we'll just sort of slowly get back into things. The book to film has been on hold. I still got to do the one that I meant to do 2 weeks ago, which I haven't done yet. I've read the book, but I'll do that hopefully this week at some point. I'll watch the film and get that done, and then we'll move on from there. And I'll try to keep updated. So hopefully things are back now on the mend, and once I can get stuck back into reading, we'll be back to things. But I do bear with me. It's going to take probably most of the month for me to sort of get back into gear into things. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and I do thank everybody who has emailed me for birthday wishes, as well as the gifts that I've received, and emails of checking up on me, and the comments that have been made. So thank you very much. It's very touching. But I was just in no shape to like I'm even struggling to speak now a little bit, but it's a lot better than it was. So take care, BookTube. I'll see you next time.